It's time to stop making it so complicated on yourself. Because in this video, I'm going to show you the fastest and easiest way to make your first $1,000 in profit selling name brand products on Amazon. You're going to see some specific examples of profitable products that you can sell on Amazon right now, and I'll show you the best high power strategy to use to find a ton of winning products for yourself. So if you want to see how to start making sales on Amazon as fast as possible, let's jump in. So to get us going, I'm going to show you an example of a product of something that you would be able to sell on Amazon. So you can see it's a very popular name brand. Tommy Hilfiger is a brand that a lot of people already are looking for on Amazon. So on this listing, I use a tool called SellerAmp, which is how we typically source products to sell on Amazon. And I can see that there's 4 different competitors on this listing, and all these people are doing is buying this from websites online and selling these products on the Amazon listing for obviously a lot more money and making some profit while they do it, right? So in order for us to go ahead and find our own profitable products, we can go ahead and go to any listing like this. So if you need a starting point for how this sourcing method works, go to literally any product at Amazon that has a few third-party sellers, ideally with not a ton of feedback. That tells me that they are buying from small websites, things that are going to be easy for us to reverse engineer. And then I can go in here and see exactly what brands they carry, how many products they have, how many feedback they have, really get a good feel of how successful this Amazon seller is. And we can use their best ideas to find some of our own profitable items. So let's just go ahead and zero in on one specific brand. And where this is going to become really powerful is when we can start combining these product ideas that these sellers have with big sales that are going on, kind of opportunities for us to buy this really cheap. So let's go ahead and start digging in, because basically what I'm looking for is this item to be for sale somewhere on the internet, doesn't matter where, for 14 bucks or less. And then I'm going to make my ideal kind of $3 profit, 30% ROI, and so on. And as we're going through here, keep in mind, all we have to do is buy these products cheap enough to make a profit. We list them on Amazon and ship them into Amazon using Boxum. Makes it really simple for us to get those products available for sale with the customer. And then as soon as it's available for sale, we're going to start making sales. No ads, no marketing, nothing like that needed. We just need to go in here and find products as cheap as possible, right? Let's see. So this actually could be profitable right off the bat, which usually you're not going to find a profitable product on the first product you look at, but that might be what we're working with here today. So let me close this out here. And yeah, so we're getting an extra 20% off on this, and it is originally 13 bucks. And this on the Amazon listing is right now is going for 27.50. So if we buy it for 13 bucks, not even including coupons, anything like that, we're already making $5.50 a unit. I did see that we are able to get that 20% discount. So I can go in here and do minus 20%. So now I'm buying these for $10.40, $8 profit. So that's pretty solid, right? Another thing you want to check and make sure is that the profit is consistent, right? So on this table right here, I like to see the average 90-day price. So on average, this has been selling for 27 bucks. So it's slightly above average right now, but on average over the entire last 90 days, every time this sells, we're going to make $8 profit. That's a really consistent item. And that's awesome. I love to see that kind of right off the bat here. So that's just one specific example here. Let's jump into a couple others here, see if we can just find some more profitable products together. But as far as finding more products for yourself, that is the super bare basics, right? Obviously, there's a lot more that goes into it. There's some other ways that we can actually create a profit margin. I'll show you those as they pop up, and we'll go ahead and talk about how to actually get these sold as fast as possible and not just filling up your house full of theoretically profitable items, right? This, for example, right? We need a $9 on this long sleeve t-shirt. Seems a little bit cheaper. Maybe not going to be possible, but we can always check. Let's see. Yeah, so we're getting this for about $12.50-ish if I'm doing my mental math there correctly. I guess it'd be about 12 bucks. Yeah, so 12 bucks right there. This is going for 22 bucks. I do see, yeah, so buying it for 12-ish right there. Not super profitable. What I can do is down here on Keepa. So SellerAmp and Keepa, those are the 2 tools that I use for product research. These are the 2 tools I use to sell a little over $6 million on Amazon at this point. Keep it nice and simple with your software stack. SellerAmp and Keepa for sourcing, and Boxum for tracking profit, listing products, all that good stuff. And down here on Keepa, I can actually see the variations tab. So this is showing me which specific style of these clothes is the most expensive. I can filter by whatever I want. In this case, I have it filtered by the highest current price. So in this case, I can actually see that there is a version of this shirt that is $28.18. That's a $4.50 profit. So we can definitely go ahead and check this out. Could potentially be selling at that. And yeah, I honestly think it does, because you see how on this bottom chart down here, this is just showing me who is on the listing over time. And you can see the seller count goes up a little bit, goes down a little bit, goes up a little bit, goes down a little bit, right? If there was no one making sales, it would only be going up, or there would be no new people hopping on this listing. But we're seeing people coming in and selling out at this price point. And that's honestly interesting, right? We can buy that for 12 and sell it for 27 bucks right there. I would call that another profitable product. Just out of curiosity, just because this seems to be doing pretty well for us, let's check out out these shorts and we can move on to some other types of products just for the sake of variety. Let's see. Yeah, so this is pretty consistent right around that $43 price point, $45 price point, and we need to get them for 22. Yeah, 22 bucks right there. What are we looking at, right? We're looking at the Optic White 38s. Let's see if we can find those. So right there, bright white. I would assume those are the same thing. Let's just take a look at the pictures there. Yeah, Optic White is looking pretty much full white. I don't really think you'd have anybody complaining about that. And we had the 38. So yeah, those are in stock as well. So there's another profitable item. So really 5 profitable items right off the bat, not too bad at all. See, minus 20%, buying that for 20 bucks, selling it for 43, and got $8.76 in profit. And on top of this, let me show you a way that we can actually create even more profit. Like I was talking about, I want to make sure you guys are as profitable as possible. If we go to Cardbear and then search up Nautica, what this is going to show me is all the different websites that sell discounted gift cards for Nautica. So in this case, I can go in here to GCX. This is a website I buy from a lot, and I can say I want to buy a $50 gift card for $42.27, right? So I've immediately saved myself 15% on the buy cost right there, basically. Usually I like to stick to $100+ gift cards, so I'm not spamming a bunch of gift card numbers, that kind of thing. You will get them emailed to you directly, so it's up to whatever you want to deal with. In this case, we can easily get 13% off on a $100 gift card. Again, that's just personal preference, you know, how many times you want to punch in a gift card number to save some extra money. But see, on all of these listings, that makes it even more profitable because we can get that 13% pretty consistently. Now that $4-ish profit became a $6 profit, and so on, right? All these are going to become even better. Buying this for 20, subtracting that 13% discount, now it's $11 profit. And this is one of those really small things that some people aren't thinking about, but it makes a huge difference over time, right? Because if you're the Amazon seller who's always buying at the cheapest possible price, and you're competing with someone who's not taking these extra steps, you've automatically baked in a 15%-ish discount on your buy cost, and that can be massive, right? So that's 3 different profitable products there. Just for the sake of variety, let's see. I know we started with Tommy Hilfiger as an example. Let's see if we can find anything profitable in that brand. So a couple things I'm looking for as I go through here. Number one, I see that Amazon is on this listing. So I usually just want to avoid listings where Amazon is really dominant on this. They're typically going to be hogging all the sales. It's their platform. That's just how the game works. I do see like something like this could be a decent example. This is selling for like 46 bucks right there. If we buy it for 23, we're going to be profitable. And let's see if that is the case on here. So it could be 32 bucks. We'd need it a little bit better than that, unless we can find like a good coupon or something like that. I'm also seeing that this only sells 13 times a month. So it's a little bit slow for my taste. Let's see if we can just find something a little bit better. Let's see, casual button down. What are those going for? Potentially 47. Regular stripe. Interesting. See, it seems like there's a bunch of different versions of this. Let's see, signature long sleeve. Let's see. Yeah, checking out this listing. What is this? Blue stripe, striped blue. Seems like this blue might be a little bit darker than that one. And this could be something like you would go in and maybe test and see if it doesn't have any returns from customers, that kind of thing. I wouldn't buy super deep on this, especially since the ROI is not really a major home run. 30% is the bare minimum I like to look for. We can also see if we can increase our margins a little bit on here. I don't think Tommy Hilfiger typically has like super good gift cards, but I can always go in here and check. And let's see, it was showing 5%. Yeah, some of those smaller gift cards, those can be tricky to work with, but 75 bucks, 6% off. How much of a difference does that make on this listing? Let's see. So minus 6%, a little bit more than that. I'll just call it 6%. That does actually help a lot, right? It raises the ROI by 10%, which that's going to cover the cost of a few returns and all that good stuff if you do run into that. Not a horrible example at all. Let's see. This reeks of profit to me. Surely we can get that little embroidered shirt or whatever it is for 17 bucks. Let's see. We need, is it just like a logo in the top left? Okay, interesting. Let's see. So it's like literally that t-shirt that they're showing in. Oh, it's one of these right here. All right. So it's crew neck, small logo, Optic White XL right there. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So 17.25, right where I expected to be able to find it. It's a little bit more expensive than I expected, even 17.25, $5 in profit, just below the ideal ROI threshold. But this is one of those things where you go in and you use those gift cards, and now you're buying an item that other people have completely skipped past because you did a little bit of legwork and you entered in those gift card numbers and that kind of thing, right? That goes from a non-profitable item, or at least not quite there, raising the ROI by 8%, and in that case, $6 profit per unit. That definitely seems worth it to me, right? Finding a couple different profitable products right there. The next step of the process that I get asked about a ton is the ungating process, that kind of thing. So let's say you want to list this product on Amazon, you're punching it into Boxum, and it says that you're not allowed to sell it, right? All you need to do is get the invoice from this listing right here. Whenever you bought from the website, they have to email you something that shows what you bought, your date, the address it's shipping to, that kind of thing. And then you just upload that on Amazon Seller Central, and usually within a day or two, they'll check it over, approve it, or they'll ask for more information. You can always just add like the tracking information, add like a picture of the product, whatever you got to do for them to approve it, and I'll just keep spamming that application until they do eventually approve it. Sometimes they can take a couple submissions. But now that we've actually got these profitable products, we got to get them sold as soon as as possible. So that's where you hop back into Boxum. This is a back-end tool you'll use to manage your Amazon business. And let's say we want to add one of those Tommy Hilfiger shirts. You would just punch that in right here. You could type in whatever title you want. Typically what you'll end up doing is grabbing the ASIN. So you can just copy the ASIN, which is like Amazon's unique identifier, and then I'll paste it in there. And in order for us to ship products into Amazon, we just have to make a listing for that product first, which basically just attaches yourself to the existing listing already. You can see all we need to do is set what price it wants to be at, what price we paid for it. So I think it was like $7.25. We can also store the supplier that we bought it from. So storing like Tommy right there. And then I can also see the date that I went ahead and shipped this in. So that shows me, hey, I want to restock this product. Where did I buy it? Oh yeah, the Tommy Hilfiger website. Hey, I want to lower my price a little bit. Can I afford to do it? In this case, I paid 17 bucks. Sure, I'll lower my profit a little bit, but I'm still profitable if I need to lower it. I bought it on the 9th of July. Is that a long time ago? Is it recent? That can change how you want to go about managing your inventory, restocking it, knowing when to lower prices, knowing when to stay a little bit greedy or wait for prices to come back up. You have to do that kind of thing. You can see like on this listing, we'll go ahead and add that product. And if you are not allowed to sell this brand yet, it'll let you know right here that you're not allowed to sell it. You need to go get approved to sell this brand like we're talking about. But in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and submit that to Amazon. And then once that gets approved, you're good to go ahead and go over to shipments. And then once that gets approved, you're good to go over to shipments and then create a shipment. And you want to create your shipments through Boxum because it's going to properly track all your profits. There's a full analytics suite, dashboard, all that kind of stuff that's going to track and help what to restock, what profit you're actually making. Otherwise, you're just flying blind. And shipping it through Boxum makes it way faster. It's the fastest way on the market to save yourself some time as a business owner and get these shipments shipped out as fast as possible, right? So go ahead and fill out a couple things. So I'm going to just name the shipment. You can do FBA, where you ship to Amazon, ships to your customer, or you can do FBM, which is where you just list it. A lot simpler listing process. And then once it does sell, you'll go and buy individual labels to ship those products to customers. Go ahead and set a ship from address, your shipping method. So if you're doing pallets at a time, good for you. I assume if you're watching this video, you're probably new to the game. You're just going to be doing small parcel. And then you can also select between Boxum provided box contents. If you do it by Amazon standards, you are actually able to save some Amazon fees if you use Boxum provided. I like using 2D barcodes for most of my shipments though, because it helps my check-in times. So by using Boxum, this is actually something you're not able to do on Amazon. You can use 2D barcodes, which help those check-in times, which gets you making sales faster, right? You're not waiting for things to check in at Amazon quite as long. Usually it's a couple days faster. That alone will pay for things like this, let alone like tracking your profit and that kind of thing. So go ahead and create this shipment. And then I'm just going to go ahead and add like an auto ungated product that I've already got listed on my account, some other t-shirts, that kind of thing. We'll go ahead and set our list price, which is a little bit above the buy box. You can even see right here what the current sale price is for this item. So a lot of times I like to set it above that price, and then I'll just lower it down a little bit as it actually checks in. I don't want to accidentally sell things for too cheap. Go ahead and punch in a quantity right there. So I'm just going to say I got this from Foot Locker, for example. We'll go ahead and add this to our shipment, and then I'll also show you how it works when you have multiple other items. So here's like another toy I found at my local Ross the other day. Go ahead and add that to the shipment. Go ahead and continue and submit. That's going to take you on to step 2, where now we need to basically say, hey, Amazon, here's what's in each box. Here's what the boxes weigh. Here's the dimensions. And then we also go ahead and print out custom barcodes for our products. So we'll go ahead and print out these FNSKU barcodes right here. In order to get that taken care of, you'll want a label printer like a Rollo or a Dymo, one of those, and you just cover the original barcode of the product. And if you want to make it really simple for yourself, you can just go in here and select what box you want to add it to, assign all those to the box. You can assign all those to the next box. If you want to see how it works, if you have extra boxes, you go in here and say, all right, I've got 10 of these. I want to split it across the 2 boxes I have selected. Now you've got 5 and 5. You can also go ahead and drag and drop these products into whatever box you want. So I did it really fast. I'll show you. So I can just drag that. I can add it to this box. Now I've got 10, or I can say I want 10 of these split across both those boxes, right? So whatever you want to do. And then if you also run into any products where you need like custom labels or anything like that, you can go in here and type in whatever text you want. So even if you just want to keep your office organized, you can print out custom labels on Boxum. You can also print out fragile labels, suffocation warning, sold as a set labels, all that good stuff. If you don't want them to separate it apart, you want to make sure they're careful with your package, all that good stuff you can take care of through Boxum. But we'll go ahead and continue, submit that to Amazon, and then that's going to load your pricing options, right? So I can see here are those products that I shipped off to Amazon. I told them that we had 200 pounds worth of stuff, just so you can see how it works when you have a real shipment's worth of stuff. And in this case, there's about $60 to ship 200 pounds across Florida here. I can also see the different shipment options. So sometimes you'll want to see all these different shipment options on Boxum, so you can make sure you're choosing the lowest cost. It's another good feature to take advantage of, just getting those cost savings on shipping for sure. And in this case, you can see we're paying about 30 cents a pound to ship to Amazon, which is honestly pretty good. Usually I pay about 60 cents a pound, and that's what I have included in all of the sourcing calculations, by the way. If you're wondering about that, you can even see on the total fees, I've got about 60 cents per pound included as my inbound shipping cost, right? But after you get this taken care of, you'll buy the shipping right here. You'll put UPS labels and the FBA box labels on the outside. If you did use those 2D barcodes, codes, they'll automatically be added to your FBA box labels. And when it shows up at Amazon, again, it'll typically help those check-in times a little bit. Drop that off at UPS or pay UPS to come pick it up from you. You can do it through a UPS account for $6 to $12, depending on how far away from a UPS you live. And then you're done. Repeating step one, right where we started the video, source more profitable products, watch those numbers go up in box on especially those profit numbers, and you're off to the races. So if this video helped, make sure you hit that subscribe button and let us know if you have any questions down below. We're always happy to help you guys out. And if you're serious about growing your Amazon business, make sure you grab a 2-week free trial of Boxum down below. That's how you'll make shipments, make listings, track all your numbers. Just one of those things that increases the value of your time as a business owner. But we really appreciate you watching this video. And if you want to see more information on sourcing profitable products, go ahead and click this video right here.